Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Hello, yes, we're back. It's Tuesday, so you know the score by now. We turn up, you ask a question, and we answer it. It's as simple as that, but that's how we like it. And we make it really simple for you to get in touch and ask those questions.
Yep. If you want to keep it old school, just pick up your phone, call 013 808 000 35. That's 013 808 000 35. We will not answer. Instead, you will leave a voicemail and we will answer you on a future Tuesday morning.
But you know what, Rob? Maybe one day we will answer, just to keep you on your toes.
Maybe we will. You never know. Don't let the possibility put you off. Alternatively, you can go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast and leave us a message that way instead. Now, don't get confused. Just because it's called Ask Rob and Rob doesn't mean that you have to be called Rob in order to ask a question. But today's questioner is...
Hi, Rob and Rob. My name's Rob. Question for you. I'm looking to generate capital growth via flip houses. And I'm just in two minds where to start. If my numbers are right, I believe I could start anywhere. But what market research do you guys look at when it comes down to making your investments? And what sort of things should I be looking at in order to make that step and decide an area in which to flip houses? A great podcast, by the way. Love it. And thank you very much.
Well, at last, we complete the trilogy. Rob, you're the missing piece of the jigsaw. This could be the best Ask Rob and Rob yet. So, flips. Different to sourcing buy-to-let. There are different things to consider and different things to do. So sourcing a good buy-to-let deal and picking an area for buy-to-let can be quite different for flips. And Rob, you've talked about this before on the Property Podcast about a flip you participated in. So let's use that as a case study to how you selected it and how you went about it.
Yeah, there was a past podcast where we talk about this in some detail, so we'll link to that in the show notes. The key point for this is choosing the right area. So this particular one I did in Hull. Now that sounds a bit weird because I do not live anywhere near Hull, but I happen to have some really good contacts there and I partnered with someone who did all the work on the ground. So you might not be wanting to do that. You might be looking in your local area. The important thing though is to choose the right part of your local area. So I would say within a half hour, 45-minute drive of just about anywhere you could possibly be, there will be some areas that will work for buy-to-let and some areas that will work for flips. And they won't necessarily be the same area. The key to choosing an area for flips is resale. So if you're buying to sell, the emphasis has got to be on the sell, because if you can't sell it quickly and at a good price, you're not going to be able to realise your gain. Even if, in theory, you've added a load of value, until someone wants to buy it off you and they put the cash in your bank, you've not made any money and you might be having expensive bridging or other kind of finance costs. So as a general rule, and this isn't always the case, the areas that work best for flips are not going to be the prime buy-to-let areas. You ideally want it to stack up as a buy-to-let if necessary. So if you can't sell it quickly, you do have the option of renting it out. But it's unlikely to be somewhere particularly high yielding, because you want normally areas that are a little bit more expensive and where there is significant owner-occupier demand. So ideally, it's those little enclaves. Every area has them, where because the houses are really nice, because they're near good schools, lots of families want to live there. And as soon as a property comes on the market, it gets snapped up. That is what you really want. Even if you've got somewhere where on paper you can add 20% in value, I would always compromise a little bit on the amount of money just to have the security of being able to sell it quickly. And it's finding those areas by using your knowledge, by talking to agents and finding out where is it that gets snapped up as soon as they come onto the market. And what you really want is a bidding war. You want somewhere that's in such demand that two families will fall in love with it and bid themselves up to give you a really nice profit.
So there we have it. Partner up with somebody who knows what they're doing if it's not your local area. Be open to other areas that aren't home. Yes, you know your local area best, but are they the best opportunities? If you're going to be doing all the work yourself, then maybe do keep it local. But as Rob said, be very, very focused on your area. You want the biggest market possible for your resale. So if it's predominantly a buy-to-let area, then your market is restricted for resale. You want everybody open to buying your property. So don't get seduced by cheap properties in cheap areas, because it might not be families that are buying it off you. It might be investors. And if you do go down that route, refurb it accordingly to your exit market. If you're refurbing for a buy-to-let, then maybe the fixtures and fittings are a little bit cheaper, a little bit more economical than it would be for a family home, because people have different priorities. A buy-to-let landlord doesn't want the best kitchen possible for a buy-to-let, and they certainly don't want to pay for it. So just keep that in mind.
And as an extra little tip, it can be really useful if you can concentrate on the type of property that works well for a first-time buyer. If a first-time buyer is your target market, then it means that they're probably not going to be in a chain, and that makes your life a whole lot easier. As I said, making a profit on paper is no good until the money actually hits your bank account. So if you're selling to someone who's got a property of their own to sell, it could easily drag on for months and months while it's costing you money. So if you can find the type of property that appeals to first-time buyers, or ideally first and second time, then brilliant. It means you've got the widest possible market, and you might get lucky and get someone who's not in a chain and might even be a cash buyer. That's your ideal. With a buy to sell, you just want to get in and get out as quickly as you possibly can.
Okay, so it feels quite sad to bring this to a close, the Rob and Rob special, but we shall. But Rob, if you want to carry on going through the information and maybe catch up, join us in the forum. We can have a chit chat there, or possibly check out some of the free courses we do as well. As we've probably mentioned before, the majority of the stuff we put out there is absolutely free. Go to thepropertyhub.net to find out more. And if you want the show notes for this podcast, go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast.
We will be back with another question and another answer this time next week. Before then, we've got the Property Podcast on Thursday, so hopefully we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.